Not bad. Not bad at all from Arne Slot and the young boys. A lot to improve on, a lot to critique, but also a lot of things that we can take stock into, especially with a lot of these players that are on their fringes and a lot of these young players that we have high hopes for in the future. We are talking about Liverpool versus Southampton today. I thought we were going to run away with this match, especially after the first half, where we looked pretty dominant. And Southampton barely had the ball. I believe it was almost 80% possession or 78% possession for us at one point during that first half. And I thought it was just going to be a runaway game after that. I was thinking 3, 4, 5-0. But Southampton showed fight, as they've been doing this entire season against us, really. So that's probably something that I probably shouldn't have been surprised about. Obviously, Tyler Dibbling did not have the game that he had when he first played us, but still was very effective. But I don't think the Southampton side is ready to get relegated just yet. I think they will hold on, especially if they can continue to play like that and fix their leaky backline issue. I think that's the only thing that is holding this Southampton side back from actually doing something really cool in the Premier League, which is mainly for them staying up. As for us, you have to think, what do we do next in this competition in the Carabao Cup? Do we prioritize the Carabao Cup now that it's there, right? We're at a semifinal stage now. We could play one of Newcastle, Tottenham, Man United, or Arsenal now at this point. I'm interested to see who we get in the draw. I know who my preference is going to be. I'll tell you guys that towards the end of the video, and got to get your opinion, who you guys want to see in this next round of the Carabao Cup. And should we prioritize it? Comment that down below. And comment down below where you're watching from. This thing is going all around the world. People from everywhere. The Middle East, Africa. South Africa was in the house in the last video. People in America, of course. Houston, Texas. New York City. I haven't seen anybody from Las Vegas. What's going on, Vegas? I'm your son. Where are you guys at? But anyway, if you're new here, make sure you guys put in the comments down below. Should we prioritize the Carabao Cup now that it's right here again? Could we go back to back with this thing? And then tell me why. Give me your thoughts and your reasoning on this. That's what Unconformed is about. Some of the best takes that I have ever seen, better than some of these guys that actually have channels like myself, have been written in the comments of some of these videos that we have. And that's what I love about this channel, is that you guys have some great footballing minds and I love to pick them. So make sure you guys put that down below, and make sure you like the video so more people can get a hold of this and we can expand the conversation, man. But let's get into the actual match. Really glad to have Harvey Elliott back. And I think he is more so a number 10 than he is a winger. And I think that's pretty obvious. And I think Arne Slot saw that as well pretty early on. I know Trey Nyoni was playing that 10-ish role in the first 10 or 15 minutes, but then they swapped. Trey Nyoni ended up playing as a winger, and Elliott ended up playing in the middle. And some of the one-touch, two-touch play, especially with the build-up to that right-footed goal that he had, was beautiful. And I'm really excited to see what Arne Slot can do with Harvey Elliott. And mold him into a fantastic player, even more fantastic player than he already is. I think his technical skills are very underrated, and his shooting has improved dramatically. Towards the end of the last season, I mean, he was banging them in for fun pretty much at that point. And long may this continue, because I think maybe Szoboszlai's strengths lie elsewhere, and I think it's in the number 8 position, believe it or not. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit towards the end of this video. But without a doubt, there is a player in Trey Nyoni. He just needs to be able to find his place in this side. I'm still not sure where his best position is. I know he's young. He's only 17 years old. He has time to kind of adapt and figure out where his best position is going to be. Is it an 8? Is it a 10? Is it a winger now? We don't know. But there's definitely a player there. Barely put a foot wrong. Played multiple positions and played them well. That is the sign and the mark of a very good and versatile player that we have on our hands. And all of a sudden, Liverpool have depth in their midfield. We had Nyoni, we had Morton, and we had Endo, who was playing as an auxiliary center back, central defensive midfielder kind of hybrid type of thing, and it worked for him, especially in that first half. But Endo and Morton actually look really good together, especially Endo. What a warrior, man. That mouthpiece. When he has that mouthpiece in and he's flying into tackles, sliding tackles, stealing the ball, I'm just like, that's Liverpool at heart right there. In the pouring rain, giving everything. What more do you want? What more do you want to see? I think he has a place in this side as an auxiliary man, as a guy that can play left back, right back, center back, and defensive midfielder when you need him. And I'm really, really impressed with the technicality, with the technical skills that he showed. He's improved a lot since Arne Slot has come in terms of controlling the ball, finding the right pass, and keeping it away from an opposition, a defender. Press proven is what he looked like today in the middle of that defense. And he was that shining light there when things started to kind of come apart in that second half. But we'll talk about that as well. But a nice and composed finish from Darwin Núñez. And is it a surprise that he's driving in from that left wing for that attack? And you saw Arne Slot immediately after he got that goal, he made sure that Darwin started from that left side more often than not. And I think he is a left winger. And that poses a problem for Liverpool because now we have too many left wingers, right? Technically, Kies is a left winger. You got Gakpo, you got Diaz, and now you got Nunez who likes to drift in off the left. We got to figure out what's going on there and figure out how we can get the most out of these players that we have. I know Chiesa is playing on that right-hand side, who looked good today, by the way. Looked good today. Looked dangerous. That one sequence where the ball came, he took it, boom, controlled it, one touch, nutmeg, away. There's a player there. And I think he probably could have had maybe one or two goals today if he didn't scuff that one that he probably should have been scoring in the other two chances that he had that were just good defense. But I was expecting more free-flowing offense in that second half, and I think that probably ended up being the downfall in that second half and why it looked closer than it probably should have been. Southampton, credit to them, they roared back in that second half. And I think it's a lesson learned for a lot of these young boys. And you have to think maybe, and I think it's a lesson learned for Arne Slot as well, who obviously wasn't on the touchline today. And you could tell that in that second half, those young boys were missing that voice on the sidelines. And I think he maybe tinkered too much and asked a little bit too much of some of these players that are fringe players and young players of putting together that back line of Tsimikas, who's coming in off of an injury, and Gerald Kwanzaa, who is in a confidence building type of, phase in his career right now where he's had a few tough games. And then Endo, who hasn't had very much playtime, and Morton, who hasn't had very much playtime, playing a lot of these players out of position, right? Or at least two of the four players in the back line out of position, with Morton playing in that right back role, with Endo playing as a center back or that wandering center back role that Ryan Gravenberch kind of played when we were 10 men down. Am I being too picky? I might be being too picky. I might be. But there's a lot of good things to take away from it. Great recovery game for Gerald Kwanzaa. I think he looked good today. Good confidence builder for Nunez. Great to see Elliott back, like I said before. And the youngsters, I think they need more games. I think they do too. I think we could probably play them in that Accrington Stanley game in the FA Cup, and I think maybe we could cycle some of them in for the next round if we are giving up the Carabao Cup and we're like, whatever happens in it. I think Morton has what it takes. I think Chiesa looked dangerous and needs more time in some more of those low-stakes kind of matches just like this one. And Nyoni just we need to give him as much game time as we can. I don't know if we will, though, right? I mean, we have such a good midfield that we need, and they're young. It isn't like any of these guys are going to be moving on soon. So Nyoni is going to have to be even just that much better than Gravenberch, than Maka, and then, of course, Szoboszlai if he wants to get a shot in this side. But he's doing a good job so far. So what's next? I'm thinking Man U in the Cup. I think that's who we draw in the Cup. I don't want Arsenal, I don't want Newcastle, and I don't want Tottenham. Here's the reasoning behind it. Arsenal, I don't want to give them another opportunity to potentially beat us and then have to go and probably play them again, right, later in the season. Because if they do end up scraping a win off of us, they're going to use that as psychological, and that may wear on the players. I don't want to give them too many opportunities to get close. Tottenham could do a very Tottenham thing. They could be very Spursy. And you never know what Tottenham that you're going to get. You could get a Tottenham that'll blow your ass away, or you get a Tottenham that just roll over for you. You don't know. They're a wild card. And then Newcastle, we know, is always a tough game. I would rather take Manchester United, who's in a transitionary phase, brand new manager. They're kind of up and down right now as results are all over the place. Now's the time to play Manchester United. And plus, it's payback for last year in the FA Cup. I'll take that. I'll take that. But let me know what you guys think. What would you prioritize? Comment down below. Would you, and this is the question that we had in our stream today. Would you take the Champions League or the Premier League this season if you had to choose one? A lot of our answers was both, because we're a big club and we should be going after both, and we should be doing doubles. And I agree. But if you had a gun to your head and they said, pick one, which one you picking? I think I'd pick the Premier League, but they made some really good points. Champions League is a very prestigious competition, and it proves that you are the best in Europe. But if you can't win the Premier League title, does that kind of contradict itself? If you're the best in Europe, shouldn't you be winning your own domestic trophy in England locally? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. But Tottenham this weekend, this is a must win for us, or Chelsea would be right there, right? They're trying to be chill guys. They're trying to say that, oh, we're not in a title race. They're in a title race right now. They've spent enough money that they should be considered in a title race. You know, close to $1 billion or over $1 billion. They should be in a title race right now. And they are in a title race with us right now. And I think it's really just them. I think Arsenal, I don't think we maybe have to worry about them too much. Man City is completely out of it. They have a lot of issues that they need to figure out. But let me know what your predictions is for that Tottenham match. I'm going 3-1 for us. Expect a Szoboszlai masterclass and expect a patented Mo Salah game where he's quiet all game but pops up with an assist and a goal. But let me know what you guys think down below. What's your predictions for this week, this week's game? And then what would you prioritize? Gun to your head. Gun to your head. Champions League or Premier League? You could say both too. But if I want a real answer though at the same time. But anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you again for everybody who decided to subscribe to the channel recently. You guys are amazing. Welcome to the family. Let's take this thing to 4,000 subs. That's the goal. 4,000 subs before the end of the year. I just started this last year. To go from 0 to 4,000 is a massive blessing. Thank you for everybody who has decided to support the channel and continuously support the channel. I love you all. The journey is just beginning. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.